Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is part three of this three-part series on what I play during a shout. So in this part, it's going to be actually what I do before a praise break. If you want to see the other two videos, you can just click right over here, and it should take you right to those two videos. Oftentimes, we want to play a praise break, and what we have to do are a few things before we start it. So what are the precursors to this praise break? What are we actually going to do? What are we looking for as musicians? What are we paying attention to? What are we feeling for as far as what precedes the actual praise break? So let's discuss. I'm Chris Moses, and this is Gospel Progressions University, where I'm here to equip you and help you as a church musician or as a musician in general. Before I go on, let's take a look at an example over here of what I would do prior to a praise break, and I'm going to talk about each section. I'm going to break it down.
Oh, Lord, somebody in here need to wake up out of your bad dream. Tell your neighbor it's just a dream, because what God said he was going to do, he's still able. Oh, he's still able. You got to learn to trust him. I heard a songwriter say, don't give up on God, because he won't give up on you. Some of y'all have lost your expectation, but I come to tell you, if you expect God, he'll show up. He won't let you down. I come to build up your expectation today. God is on his way. The miracles still waiting for you. Whatever God said, he's not a man that he should lie. If he told you he was going to bless you, just get ready. After the storm, the blessing's on the way. Can you say it? Somebody all the way in the back of the room, you can lift up your hands and tell God thank you that my blessing is on the way. Just a little while longer. Just a little while.
I don't like to get into what a rule is and what we can and what we can't do. I like to usually say guidelines. However, I've seen this guidelines or these guidelines broken so much, I just decided to say, you know what? Let's just go and make it a rule. So there are three of them. And rule number one is this: you never just jump headfirst into the main drive of a praise break. And what I mean is, you can have everybody all excited, this thing's going on, whatever, right? And now you just want to and just go right into it. Now that may be jarring because we're looking for two things. We're looking for the atmosphere and we're looking for the timing. All right. So with that, we have to look at what's being said. If you have somebody, I don't know, Sister Got Rock, she's up there and she's talking about, we lost the Smith, the family member, and after church, there's going to be we're going to be gathering over at the home. We've been invited. We're just going to ask that the church shows support and continue to pray for the Smith family. But we're back there like this. We don't want to do that. That's not the correct timing. Definitely not the correct atmosphere because of what's being said. The person is talking about a death. All right. So we're not celebrating, somebody's death, so for that kind of atmosphere, it's just inappropriate. And Sister Got Rocks is not really known for being like a fiery kind of speaker. She just normally is a person that is speaking of announcements. So that's what's being said. She's given an announcement. And the timing is incorrect because of what she's saying and during the time of service that it is. So we're kind of checking out the atmosphere and the timing. This is what I like to call the R and T, or the Riff and Tease. So now let's just say Brother Ketchizinski's up there, and he may be the speaker. He may be the big bellowing voice, the speaker that, speaks with that kind of authority and that kind of way, where it's going to be required, or it's going to be appropriate to play that, because now we're talking about he's maybe just finished preaching, or this is after a song, for praise and worship, or the choir or the praise team or whomever is finished singing, and it's just that kind of atmosphere. So the riff and the tease is just to basically say, okay, right, we're gonna just jump in. So we jump in and we jump out, all right, because they may want to move on. He or she, or he, in this case, may want to do that. And all right, everybody, turn your Bibles to Psalms chapter 63. And then you may want to move on to the next part of the service. So, but we want to do the riff and tease just to kind of come in and come out to show them, hey, I got you if you want to go in that direction. If not, we can move on. And what I'm playing is this. It's going to be in the key of B flat. All right. We're playing the key of B flat, and what we're doing here are two chords over the tonic, right? So your first chord is basically a minor chord. It's a 2 chord, right? For B flat, which would be minor 7, and then we go to a diminished chord. That's your right hand. So C, E flat, G, B flat, and then D flat, E, G, B flat. We're not playing the D. It's not major. We're not playing the D flat. It's not B flat minor, or B flat major, not B or D. B flat major, we're not doing the D, or B flat minor, but we're suspending it. And I have video all on suspensions and suspended chords, sus chords, right over here. So this is our left hand. It's going to be B flat, F, A flat. So if you pay attention here, if you look at what I'm doing, the F and the A flat, this index and thumb is doing mirroring almost the index and thumb of the right hand. So index and thumb of the right hand would be C and E flat. Index and thumb of the left hand, F and A flat once again. So from our left hand, we go down from F to E, A flat to G. Right hand, all right, we go up, C to D flat, E flat to E. So it's going to be like this. So it's, and what I did here was just the lick was C, D flat, D, F, G, A flat. Sounds pretty cool over what preachers like to normally hang at, in that what do you call it? The B flat, or the minor blues scale. But playing the major blues scale over that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right, 6-tone scale, it sounds really cool. So we can do things like that, or we can mirror what they're doing. And then we stop, okay? So that's the riff and tease. Again, they may want to go forward, they may not want to. But you jump in, you jump out, and it gives them an opportunity to either continue with that vein or just move on. An easy way of playing those chords would just basically be, your left hand is B flat, right hand is going to be C, E flat, G, B flat. You can just play this like this: C minor 7 to D flat diminished 7. So, all while being kept over the B flat. The crash and rumble on 1. So what I'm saying is the drummer is going to be crashing on that cymbal. All right, it's the cymbal you probably hear the most that punctuates or accents certain parts of a song. So we're going to have that. All right, we're going to have a lot of that going on. And it's the rumble. You might have something like this too going on, depending on what I like to do that on the organ, because of the way the tonality that you get. And with this patch over here, it won't sound the greatest, but the point is that your bass player is going to be just, if you have a bass player, or you can do it yourself, it's a kind of a rumble on that one, on that tonic. So, or this. So we're trying to support the intensity increase as this part of the service is moving towards that praise break. So here's rule number 2. This is our second rule. We never skip the half step and jump right into the main drive. Again, you know, as we do this, everybody's hype and they just can't wait to get to the shout. So it's, and they want to go right into that. We got to do the half steps because people need to know what's coming. It's still kind of a tease, and we're not quite at the point of no return just yet. So as we do that, all right, for a little while, and then they may come back in and exhort some more. I don't know what you came to do, but I came to praise him. And they may come in and you just hit them with the, you know, all right. And then rather this, I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong way. So what I'm doing is just from the B flat, going up to D, E flat, E, and F. And what we do is the same chords I showed you, all right? We now go to the left hand. You can take D and A flat, C, F, A flat, B flat in the right hand. And then we go to the next chord, that's your D, over your D. And then over your E flat would be D flat, G in your left hand, D flat, F, G, B flat in your right hand. And if you've noticed, these are just basically preacher chords, okay? And then we go from here, and then we just move our same chord, the index finger, to that E. And we go to the E, the bass, right? And then finally, this chord here, over the F, E flat, A, D flat, right hand, A, D flat, E flat, A flat, and then we can end up here actually. A simpler way to play what I like to call the happy half steps, all right, and just letting people know what's going on, is we can just do the same thing we did before. You just play the bass, you don't have a bass player, B flat, and you can go here, all right. C, F, A flat, B flat in your right hand, D in your left hand, E flat left hand, right hand, D flat, F, G, B flat, and go to the E, D flat, E, G, B flat, right hand, E in your left hand. And then we can go down to the F, all right, in our left hand. Right hand would be A, D flat, B flat, A flat. You can even bring it down to here. Or up here if you want to do the same thing. And then do the same thing you did before. So now we have another movement here. This is the hit on 3 and the break on 1. So we're going to walk up, all right? But what we're going to do, we can walk up half steps just like we were doing before, all right? But we're going to break and cut or accent on 1. We can do this. But what we're going to do now, instead of doing that, okay, as we, and then we go to the 3, right? So now with that 3, what we can do is take that here. 6, 2, 5, and then 1. Okay, and then we just cut. We just break on that. By this point, everybody, it's so hyped, you know, people are going nuts that you're likely gonna have a type of praise break. Still at the point of no return. We could stop. But again, once we get to this next section, you know, that's gonna kind of be it. What I'm doing here is, you got our 1 chord, we know what that is. So instead of going to this 3 here, we go here, and then we can bring it up to here, right? G flat, C in our left hand, over D, right? G flat, B flat, C, E flat. All right, and then now we go down to the tritone here, F and B, all right, and then our left, it's our left hand, our right hand, F, B flat, D flat, all over G. And the next chord, we're just playing over the C, would be E, A flat, B flat, E flat in our left hand. And you can just repeat that in your right hand. And then now we can go to the F now. left hand, E flat, A, D flat, right hand, A, D flat, B flat, A flat. And then we can end on that chord up here. All right, and as we cut, we can hit 1, 2, 3. And then from that point, we can go ahead and then we can start the loop. All right, after we get that so excited and people are just ready to go. So a simpler way to play that 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Remember, D, G, C, F, B flat, or 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. We can do our first chord over the 3. It would be 3, and your left hand is 3. Your right hand is G flat, C, F. And then we go to the 6, would be G, of course, and we just move it down from here, just right here, to here, F, B, E flat. Then we go to the 2, another simple move, E, B flat, E flat in your right hand. Of course, your 2 is in your left hand. And then we go to our 5 chord. Here it would be 5 in the left hand, right hand is A, E flat, A flat. That's your biggest jump, okay, from here to here. And the finger distance is essentially the same. And then we go from here and go to 1. Same 1 chord that shows you C, E flat, G, B flat, right hand, and B flat, left hand. That's just a simpler way to play that. This is this last section here I like to call the L and L, or lock and loop. All right, this is where we're going to start the loop. So I call it the lock and loop because we're starting the loop, obviously. And if there's no loop, the hi-hat is going to have to establish the tempo. Most churches, most people, you can use different, your iPhone or whatever you got to go ahead and start the loop. So again, if you don't have one, simple hit on the hi-hat is better. It's best if you have a tight drummer. But what this does, it locks in the groove. And the drummer doesn't even have to work as hard. It's established. Because by the time you hit the loop, right, you got somebody clapping. And people are already dancing because at this point you're already kind of done. Now, this will lead me to rule number 3, final rule. You always have an intro to the main drive. Always have an intro to the main drive, because even with this, after we start, our loop, we're not just going to jump right into it, You want to kind of save that for after, because of the movements. There's a lot of going on, a lot of not that the tempo is faster, but there's a lot of things being played rhythmically, more rhythmically in that goes with the music that makes people want to dance, but they're still kind of getting ready for it. So you want to introduce them to this, although some people may be ahead or whatever. So we kind of have this introduction, because your main drive is like the chorus, and we don't necessarily want to start off with the best part. We kind of want to leave that for the very last. So we have an introduction. So you want to have several of these under your belt, because playing a drive over and over and over and over and over again can become boring. But people are shouting for a long time, and you want to have several, 4 or 5 of these under your belt. Here's one that you can use. So you have this here, B flat, D, E flat, right? B flat, D flat, E flat, D flat, and then you have all right, second inversion for B flat. We have the E flat diminished and G flat C in our right hand, and then right back to the B flat again, right hand, F, and B flat on the left hand, okay? And then we have this here. I'll show you this again. So we have this here. So E flat, E flat, G flat, A, C, right hand, G flat, C, left hand, and then left hand again, F, B flat, D. And this is all over. This would be this, and over the G flat. This would be over the G, and this would be over the. You can just do 1, 5, and then 1. Without a bass player, you could play this simply as same thing. You could do I'll just start here. Or you can do that too, yes. Second inversion over F, B flat, right? F, B flat, D over F. And then we get our E flat, G flat, A, C over G flat. And then go down to the first inversion of B flat, D, F, B flat. And then immediately after that, you go F, G, F, D, C, B flat. Okay, you can just do that in one hand if it's more comfortable. You can do this here. Yeah, you can try that here. C, your left hand, right hand, E, G, D flat. Right hand again to go to the F, E flat, G, C. So, and then B flat, left hand, right hand, D, F, A flat, B flat. So, I rather. Okay. So after you do that a few times, then you can go buck wild and just jump into the actual main drive. That is to prepare you by this point. You got the loop started, people are ready to go, and you're ready to go, and you can just take off from there. In summary, we have our atmosphere and timing, just paying attention to what's being said and who's saying it, where you are in the service. We have the R and T, or the riff and tease. You kind of want to come in and come out, just do a couple of hits, and a little bit of a lick, and you might change directions. Just be ready to pivot. And then we have our crash and our rumble on one. So at this point, the drummer is coming in, and they're really gonna come in with the crash, and you're gonna have your bass player, or if you're in an organ, or if you have a patch, sound that's conducive to having that left hand, where you're kind of smearing the keys. You kind of just pressing all the keys on the left side and the low end to give that effect. That's your crash and a rumble on the one, or your tonic chord. We have our happy half steps. Happy half steps meaning that you're gonna go up from the 1, 3, 4, sharp 4, and the 5, or in this case, B flat, D, E flat, E, and F. You kind of want to prepare people for what's coming because they kind of know how this, how this goes, and you're signaling to the speaker or whoever may be, leading the service, if they want to go in that direction or not, but still be ready to pivot. You have your hit on 3, and we have our hit on 3 and break on 1. We go now to the 3, but this is where you do 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, and you break on that 1. Or you can walk up on half steps as well and break on the 1. Either one would work. And then we go now, after we climax here, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, you're holding that 5 out for a bit. We're gonna lock and loop. So that's the lockdown feel, and start the loop at this point because you have nowhere else to go now. You can't go back down, so you're at the highest point here, unless you change complete directions. And at this point, it's it's so charged that it's probably going to go into that praise break. And finally, you want to have some kind of route introduction. You're dragging this out to the last minute, and this is some kind of route introduction where it isn't the main drive, but it introduces the main drive. I hope this has been a blessing to you. If you want to find out more about scales and these different things that pertain to gospel music theory, then you really need to go to my site and download my free guide. It's called What Do Pro Musicians Know That You Don't? I'll go ahead and I'll leave the link in the description. This will definitely be a blessing to you. Any questions at all, anything else you would like me to cover, please leave your comments in the comment section. Be blessed, and I will see you in the next video.